Hey ladies and gentlemen, how you guys been doing? It's your boys in here and welcome to week 4 as we're gonna go against Sly. Now I have to first of all apologize, this is gonna be from his side of field because it seems that I clicked B instead of A, and yeah. But anyways, the bell is a bell. I gotten his code, so thank you for Sly for providing me the code, and let's go right into this bell. I wasn't expecting him to not bring a Flygon, Electivire, as well as Porygon, but it seems that he doesn't have any of those three, so that definitely threw me off guard, as I lead with Rotom, expecting him to... Well, generally, Rotom is a good lead because he doesn't have a single, immunity to the likes of Volt Switch, so I decide to lead with it. He's going to switch out to Arcanine to try to sponge this move quite well, as he actually reviews that he is a specially defensive one. Now, that definitely... didn't really throw me off guard, but I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna do at least half and then I can retaliate, but nope, I cannot. So he's gonna Morning Sun away as I switch out to Big Boss. I'm thinking, okay, if he switches out, I don't think he's gonna switch out to Venusaur because Air Slash, so I'm just gonna go for knockoff. Maybe he's gonna switch out to something else, can get rid of the item, and in this case I can get rid of the leftovers, so that can kind of like kind of cripple his defensive capabilities. As this Flare Blitz does a shit ton of damage, I actually have to decide to switch out to my Hydreigon. It's kind of to be expected because, I'm gonna need to try to get my Regenerator going, but at the same time, he does go for the Willis, he does expect me to switch out, and Hydreigon is gonna get heavily burned, but it doesn't really care. Hydreigon does kind of care, for that a little bit of damage there, but I think that I can manage, as I'm gonna go for U-turn here, expecting him to switch out to either Slurpuff, expect me to go for the Draco Meter if I'm choice, because I am choice specs. I cannot be playing this game right now, the thing's a threat. So I'm gonna switch out to my Granka, my Superior, to try to go for the Leaf Storm, just to try to see what kind of switch he will do, and I can get some sort of information. This does 4-time resist, but with +2, if I had like Hidden Power Flying, then it can become a bit of a pickle. But I actually, believe, have Hidden Power Ground for the likes of Arcanine, or do I? I believe I do. So I'm actually gonna switch out now. I could have Glare, but I didn't want to play that game for now, at least. I'm gonna switch out to my Tornadoes basically. He's actually gonna go for Earthquake, expect me to switch out to Cobalion. Now I wouldn't want to switch out to Cobalion directly, because he may have Sleep Powder, and not to mention Cobalion is a huge problem against his team because I got SD on it. If I can get that SD on, that's gonna be sweet. I'm gonna go for Air Slash now. I'm not gonna predict too much. I don't do too much to this. I actually do barely anything, to be honest, but it does show that it's a bulky set to a certain extent. Max HP, as we can see. He's gonna go for the Scald. Doesn't do anything. I'm Assault Vested, but that does less than I would expect, so I would actually expect this to be even invested into special defense. I cannot seem to say, but anyways, he does make that middle ground here. He's gonna go for Ice Beam, expect me to switch out, then get Hydreigon, Superior, and this are all weak to the likes of Ice, so it was his greatest bet, and he definitely pulled it off nicely there. Props to my opponent Sly. So basically he's gonna switch out to Arcanine again, as I'm gonna go for the Glare, expecting the Venusaur or Arcanine. In both situations, getting them both paralyzed could be beneficial to me, especially as people call Yellow Magic tends to be quite broken in League format. Then again, I don't have a team to be really truly kind of taking advantage of the Yellow Magic. I don't got the bulk, man. Anyways, Big Boss is gonna come in. He's gonna regain all that lost HP. I'm gonna go for Air Slash because I can flinch, I can crit, I can see how much damage I do, and I'm doing little to nothing. Holy hell, this is quite surprising because I got 128, I believe, EVs in special attack, but I'm doing like seriously, that is doing nothing. It's scratching this Pokemon. Arcanine, probably specially defensive, fully invested. I'm gonna switch out to my Hydreigon, to be expected. So he does make the right call here, but at the same time, I couldn't risk it. I couldn't risk take another Flare Blitz. I could have probably Air Slash and potentially get a Paraflinch, because the chances of that are actually high, but I didn't want to risk that. So he does make the right call, and here is where I'm actually debating. Well, honestly, it's a no-brainer. Let's just go for the Draco Meter. If he stays in, that's great. He may go for the Extreme Speed if he does have it, but then I believe he doesn't because he revealed Will-O-Wisp and Close Combat, Flare Blitz, and Morning Sun. Yeah, he doesn't have it. Let's just go for the Draco Meter, see how much we can do. This is max invested Metagross, and for you guys that don't know, we actually exchange trades he gave me a Cobalion, and I gave him a Metagross. So it seems that this Metagross isn't really giving him much right now, but stuff can change. So gotta switch out to Rotom now, because I can basically one-shot this, and I believe Arcanine can get two-shotted at that range, and he doesn't have lefties now. So basically most of his Pokemon can get two-shotted outside of Mega Venusaur and this Hitmonchan if he is Assault Vested. Then again, this could, Hitmonchan does have some incredible special defense, but I'm expecting him to Pursuit. He doesn't Pursuit, he actually Thunder Punches. Strangely enough, I didn't understand why Thunder Punch coverage wise. Anything else would have been great if I switch out to Serperior, Thunder Punch. Didn't really understand that one, but I was expecting some Pursuit from this point. My gut feeling was telling me don't kill him off, but I was still thinking maybe he's got Pursuit, maybe he's baiting me. But you will see in a second. So I'm gonna go for the Shadow Ball here. I'm like, okay, this is okay. Gonna do some heavy damage, and please don't be enough. Oh God, don't. Oh my God. So yeah, what you're about to witness here is complete domination by the might that is the fairy known as Cupcake, or do we say freaking Slurpuff? What you're about to witness here is insanity in a nutshell, and it gets Drain Punch, which means even things like Heatran don't stop it. So basically, you don't got switches for this to be even like this is a threat, man. Anyways, I'm trying to stop this Pokemon. Don't got Quick Attack on my Cobalion. The one time I actually would think about using Quick Attack, I don't have it. So he survived with like 8 HP after Belly Drum and proceed to decimate every single Mon on my team. Now I'm gonna be honest, I was crushed, because you see, when I was going in before that Belly Drum happened there, I was feeling it. I was feeling like, okay, this is good. Rotom is gonna do work. It specs, it's gonna do some serious damage. He's got Metagross. Nothing else on his team can take 2 shots from Shadow Ball. I can T-Bolt away, and I should have T-Bolt against a Hitmonchan there. That is my mistake. But he's got that Mega Venusaur, so I was thinking I don't want to give Mega Venusaur too many options to attack me on the switch. Who knows what could have happened. But Rotom had such an incredible opening. And the last thing that happened is I got destroyed by Slurpuff. He took the opportunity. I don't know if he calced it. I cannot seem to say if it was like a roll. I was modest. Maybe he calced a timid one. I cannot seem to say. But I was modest. And I was 100% sure I will break him to a point where he cannot Belly Drum. I couldn't allow it to happen. But this battle took me by surprise, and let me tell you this much. Sly, you played incredible setup on the right time. It broke my heart looking at my team fall down like that. But I learned. Well, I do need to mention that it's kind of like you prepare for this battle, like you think you got the right stuff, and then stuff like this happen. You really feel crushed, and I kind of want to apologize to you guys, but at the same time I feel that I have to explain some stuff. Like, for one, people talk shit about Slurpuff, people talk shit about Rotom. Let me tell you something, okay? Rotom in the previous battle against Chris, if I knew that Donphan didn't have Stone Edge, Rotom could have single-handedly destroyed every single mon Chris had going for him. That's the funny part. Outspeed Heracross, 2-shot Gardevoir, probably in 1-shot because I believe it was already heavily dented. I cannot seem to say, but I believe it would have 2-shot while he would have not 1-shot. I doubt he would have 1-shot. Sizzle would have been the only Pokemon stopping it. If he had Pursuit, he could have stopped that, but if he didn't have it, well, basically stuff could have been a little bit harder for him. Rotom was an absolute monster, but I sacked it. Because I was rushing, I was going crazy against Donphan, and I was making mistakes. One mistake cost me everything. This battle, Rotom again. Not a single immunity to the likes of Electric, not a single immunity to the likes of Porygon. I mean, the likes of Shadow Ball. Where is your Porygon 2? Where is your Flygon? I mean, especially Flygon. Looking at that team, Flygon can rule supreme. So I was really surprised he didn't brought it. Because Rotom single-handedly, if that did a little bit more there, Rotom could have made me so happy in this battle. But as you guys can see, it came falling short on me, and even specs didn't came down to be enough, which is insane. So what I realized is the Slurpuff on the other hand is an incredible monster. You see, Slurpuff can go Calm Mind, it can go, I believe, Cotton Guard as well. But the biggest monster is the Belly Drum set, because with the Belly Drum, it gets its ability Unburden activated, which means it gets +2 speed, so it got +6 attack and +2 speeds. It's a no-brainer. And to make stuff worse, it gets Drain Punch. Now, why am I saying to make stuff worse? Is because Drain Punch regain health, and to make it an absolute being, you can forget about priority moves after that. In this case, it would have worked if I had a priority move because it was against Rotom, and Drain Punch I'm immune to, so he's not gonna regain anything from me. But if it was against any other Pokemon like Serperior, which Leaf Storm would have failed, which Heatwave from Ninetales Drought would have failed, which basically every single Mon outside of Cabalin's Ironhead would have failed, is where Slurpuff really shines. This Pokemon is probably the only one that can get a Belly Drum like this off, because it's got Drain Punch. It stops you for using priority and stop him from sweeping. Because the one Pokemon you're gonna set up against is gonna have a reasonable amount of health, and you can Drain Punch and kill them off probably. Even a Steel type is not gonna want to switch in, like Cabal and get destroyed pretty much by Play Rough, but he go for the Drain Punch because better accuracy and generally better move in general. So he really played it out really well there. Cannot seem to say it was a roll, because I'm pretty sure he didn't have that investment into special defense. I'm pretty sure that was the HP he was invested into. And I was modest, max special attack, specs. I didn't calc because honestly it is what it is. If it was a roll, I would only feel bad about it, but then again, rolls are all part of the bell, and it didn't come down to like being a crit, or it didn't come down to that. So I feel that it was even better at this how the game have ended. I do need to say that I've seen Rotom could have been doing me so well in this bell, and just generally in the previous week as well. And being that people have said that Rotom is just there, and honestly, Rotom is good. It is an absolute being, and seeing this last 2 matches, even if it is the one that cost me this bell, if I preserved him and I only play with my guts, I shouldn't have not killed that Hitmonchan. Thinking it's got Pursuit, I should have not killed that Hitmonchan. I think I can take a Pursuit too, which is the funny part about it. I should have not have killed it, but I killed it. And that totally messed me up, because I was a perfect setup after that. So well played by my opponent Sly. I also want to say that I realized my faults regarding this team. You see, I drafted this team. I got a Melodic first, but then I replaced it with that cool thinking, it's gonna give me that poison immunity to toxic spikes and Rapid Spin, which is something I lacked. But then I've come to realize that I didn't use a single time where I legitimately used Rapid Spin. So, and I didn't been facing any toxic spike users up until now, and it's halfway in, which gave me thinking maybe I should have not replaced it. Which is weird, because you want to have synergy, but it seems that Tentacruel was the one Pokemon that was always messing me up. I was having some good ideas with it, Salt West Mirror Code, but it was always messing me up. And then I've come to realize my faults, my team. In order for me to get a bell going and win a match, I need to actually play flawless. This team cannot afford mistakes, every single mistake, because the previous week really showcases this. If you guys saw, I played really a mighty game with a mighty game with Hariyama, Earthquake. I mean, those were some flawless moves. I was expecting them all, knowing how Chris plays. But you see, after that happened, what happened then is that I still lost. I still lost. It didn't really matter what I did. I still lost against setup, because my team cannot afford to take moves. My team, I cannot. It's not one of those teams where you can actually switch in, recover. It's lacking true recovery. And like bulky Pokemon that can really recover, like Arcanine with Intimidate, can really work out. It generally showcases that they can kind of make up for mistakes of a player, where I, on the other hand, need to make some risky turns, and they really cost me off. Like close combat, against Hydreigon, cannot even roost. I was choice specs on top of it. Also, I was kind of limited on time with the burn and all. I could have easily Draco Meteor, because knowing that Slurpuff cannot set up against me because burn will take me out. And yeah, that is basically how that one went. It went south. I was trying to do my best, but I couldn't. I've seen my team's flaw now, and I've saw it before, but I'm really starting to see it now. This team cannot afford to take on strong moves on the Switch, especially setup. And something like this could be said about my opponent here. Also, a Sword Dancing Cobalion could have worked out so well against his team. It's ridiculous. Intimidate Arcanine, I guess, could have become like an issue, but generally speaking, if I would have like break that Pokemon apart, then Cobalion could have worked really well. Ninetales also, but it seems that he was preserving the right mons and put up the right opportunity to set up against me, and that was pretty much. I feel that he knew. I feel that he knew that I do have it. It was 5 versus 5, but I feel that he knew exactly that I do have it with Ninetales, Rotom, and Cobalion there. And he couldn't risk it. He knew that if he has to set up, he has to set up now. Because if I start spamming Volt Switches or T-Bolts later on, stuff like that are never gonna happen anymore. So he knew he has to hold it back, and he did it. And he took me off. He definitely took me out in that battle. I got completely ruined. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. What can I say outside of great game, Sly? I was trying to play my best, but it seems that I came short. One mistake cost me the whole game, and it is what it is. I also there was also one more mistake. I didn't bring up priority user, but who would have known that the setup will be against Rotom? Because everything else could have gotten Drain Punch and destroyed, and priority wouldn't really work for me. And I don't got that strong Bullet Punch priority, but it is what it is. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. What can I say? It was a 5-0. Sly got me. It's a 1-4 now. It's looking pretty bad. Honestly, I would just say no. It's a 1-3. It's not a 1-4. What am I talking about? It's a 1-3. The score is kind of looking short right now, but you know what? We're still gonna try to make. After this, we're trying to pull it in. Right now, we cannot afford another loss. If we lose another one, I may as well just go all out gimmicks after that, because if I'm not playing for the first or the second place or the third at least, then I'm gonna be playing for the entertainment purposes already. I'm still gonna give them challenge, but just I'm not in right now to it's like why Slurpuff, you're such a monster. Like, this Pokemon is actually a sin to use, thinking about it. +2, +6, what the hell? And then Drain Punch, destroying priority users. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, which I actually didn't have it, so that didn't really work out. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you much for watching, and until next time, take care. Peace.